Hey guys, it's Jennifer, and today I want to talk about 5 eyeshadow formulas that I love, that have just never let me down, and that I just want to share with you guys. So 5 eyeshadow formulas that have never let me down. Let's jump right in. All right, so the criteria for this video, because this list is not exhaustive. I have other formulas and other eyeshadow brands that have been amazing. And if you would be interested in others, let me know and I can do another video like this. But what brought this on is I was using one of these palettes and I was just like, every single palette or every product that I have from this brand has been consistently amazing. And there are some brands that I have that I love, and their current advanced formula, but I can see the journey they've taken to get there along the way. I have the Natasha Denona Mini Tropic palette, and that formula is so different from her current formula. I love her current formula, but that formula, that had some issues. But these are 5 different brands, not just specific formulas, but brands that everything I've tried has been a winner. Now, not everyone's going to agree with this, especially one of these I already know is going to be a bit controversial, but everything that I've tried has been amazing. So let's jump right in. I'm not going to do this in any particular order, so these are not in like an order from best to worst or anything. I'm just gonna go. And I'm gonna start with, I think, well, you know what? Let's start with the indie companies. All right, let's go ahead and start there. So let me start with Blend Bunny Cosmetics first. I have 2 Blend Bunny palettes. I have Surge and I have the Dollhouse. Both of these palettes, every single shade in here performs beautifully, absolutely beautifully. So Surge was the first palette that I saw by Blend Bunny. And when I saw this, it changed my life. That may seem dramatic, but I dreamed about this palette until I had it. I thought about it. I dreamed about it. I was like, I've never seen anything like it. It was so new, so different. And for someone who genuinely loves eyeshadow palettes, to be new and different and, 20 whatever year it was, only been the last couple years, is really saying something. But this was so beautiful. I loved that there was a row of pastels. I loved that there was a row of neons. I loved that there was this grungy dark color. I loved there were these jeweled colors. And then there were shimmers. And there was a lot of mixed reviews on this palette because of these shimmers. A lot of people said they just did not have payoff. I don't have that. I don't see that. I think they're amazing. I did know that the owner of the company said these are meant to be used with a finger, not a brush, and that's how I did it, and they're amazing. So let me go ahead and grab for you 2 of my favorite here. I'm going to grab Euphoric and Underneath, and I mean, you guys tell me. I don't see any problem with these. Like, look at that. I mean, that's incredible. Take my watch off since we're going to do some swatching, but look at that. I mean, what? Payoff? Are you kidding? Like, it's amazing. And I know that this one looks a bit light, but that's because it is. It's got this beautiful purple with these hot pink glitters. And it's not that it's light. It's just that there's so much color and like interesting stuff going on there. That's just what it looks like. I mean, it's not light. It's gorgeous. But yeah, these are, and you can kind of see the silver undertone too. I don't know. They're amazing. They're amazing. And the mattes are superb. Everything blends. I mean, it is easy. You don't have to work that hard. I'm even going to grab a couple of neons because I think neons are probably really difficult to do. I've had some neon palettes that were just like an epic fail. And these are good. Now they're definitely a bit powdery. The neon is not quite neoning in this light. Let me see if I can turn this down a little bit. There we go. So they're definitely a bit powdery, but I think that that's kind of what helps the formula. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. This pink just, I mean, it's not even doing in the light what it's doing in real life. Like, it is bright. This is a bright, bright pink. So every color in there is just amazing. And then I got Dollhouse because I was so just mesmerized with this formula. I was like, let me see if this is consistent, if all formulas are going to be consistently good. And they are. This one is also, it's fantastic. Really, really fantastic. This is a neutral palette. So, I mean, It's beautiful. Every neutral you could ever want, every matte that you could ever want for a neutral look is in here. But again, for me, I just really think, and the mattes are so beautiful, like they blend beautifully. I don't want to skip over that or gloss over that, but I'm so mesmerized by these shimmers as well. Like these have a very creamy sort of consistency. So I'm going to just pop a couple of those on here. Oh man. I mean, honestly, that's insane. It's gorgeous. Oh, I love that white. Oh, it's so pretty. Do you guys see that? That is so stunning. So yeah, it is gorgeous. And let me just show you a couple of mattes just because, you know, because we can. Let me get, I'm gonna fill this purple. Oh, and I'm gonna go for this coral called Plastic. I'm so into corals right now. It's kind of, ooh, almost dropped that. Kind of a color. So there you go, and there you go. I mean, as you can see, there's complete opacity. You don't have to work. That's the thing. You just don't have to work. So Blend Bunny has been consistently good across the board. All right, so the next brand that I want to talk about is Sydney Grace. This is another brand that just consistently has been amazing. And I have a few things. I have quite a few loose pigments because I've gotten some mystery boxes over the years. This is my favorite that I've constructed. And I will say, let me see what this is called. Ooh, let me see what this is called. This is called Glitz and Glamour, and it is the most perfect lavender-based gray that I have ever found. Ever, ever, ever. I mean, I love this color. Love that. So Sydney Grace, again, the mattes are amazing and the shimmers are perfection. I just don't have anything to say bad. The next palette that I have is Tiny Marvels, which was Mel's palette here on YouTube. And love this, love all of these. All of these perform beautifully. The only color in all of my Sydney Grace collection that I do have to work a little bit with is this purple. And it's called Jewel Bee. And it just takes, in my opinion, just a little bit more effort. Let me actually, so here is that. I'm actually going to pull out one of those Blend Bunnies just to kind of show you like next to what that looks like. Okay, so I have this purple right here in Surge. It's called Beckon. It's not quite the same. It is definitely not the same, but I'm just going to show you for comparison. So that's this one. Again, it's not the same purple. All right, so I'm going to put the Sydney Grace here, and you can see what I mean. So I'm going to do Blend Bunny here, and I'll do the other Blend Bunny here. So you see what I mean? Like, it's just, that is the only Sydney Grace. Let me just go back in one more time just to make sure. It's kind of like Deadpan, and I've had this in one other palette one other time before, and it was worse than this, and they did replace it, not with Sydney Grace, with another company. So I know that this can happen. I've really, really, really put that on this time. So yeah, it's just, that is the only one, and it's still there. You see what I mean? So I think that is just an error. Let me show you a comparison one of this green, for example, from that same palette. It's totally different. So that is the only color that I have ever had an issue with Sydney Grace, and I think it is actually a flaw. Everything else has been amazing. So everything in that palette's been great. Enchanted Love. Now this is not full Enchanted Love because I've used this palette, mixed colors around and removed colors. So this is not it. We'll talk about this a bit more in just a second. But again, let me just grab Darcy and Ruth. We'll put Darcy here and Ruth here. Look at that. I mean, gorgeous, right? My palette that I created with Sydney Grace, I did a video on this, designing my perfect Sydney Grace palette. I'll link that here. But again, every single color in here is just so good. And I really want to highlight a couple of these because they're amazing. So this is called Green Mist, and this is called Blue Mist. And I thought I had a red mist, but maybe that one is in my singles collection. So these are gorgeous. They're like almost a translucent. Put them here. Oh, I love them. So you can see the green undertone, the blue undertone. I think I have another one perhaps that has another undertone, but I love those. Oh, here's also one of my, this is what happens when you get into a swatch party with me. This one is called Dive, and it is so pretty. It is like this blue to gold to green. It is like mermaid, just complete mermaidness. Oh, look at that shift. Look at that shift. Beautiful. So yeah, Sydney Grace, consistently across the board, minus that one purple shade, which does work. I just have to work a little harder, and I think that's a fluke. Everything else I've tried from Sydney Grace and their eyeshadow formula has been really, really good. 10 out of 10 recommend. What I want to talk about is Cleonida Cosmetics. It's Cleota Cosmetics, and I always get this wrong. But this is a Canadian-based brand, I believe, indie brand, and they specialize in multi-chromes. And they're so stunning. So I'm going to go back to my Enchanted Love palette for a second because I have two of them in here. So these are from the Stained Glass collection, these two. Let's see. This one is called, the pink one is called, what is this called? Crown Glass. Sorry, it's like a pink, purple to blue. And then this one is called Smolder. So let me show you those because both of those are completely stunning. This formula is unlike anything I've ever had my hands on, to be honest. It is soft, very soft. It feels like you're like swatching silk. And I just can't explain what these do to the eyes and the color shift. I mean, they're incredible. I really like, just even here, you guys see purple and maybe like this teal blue. I'm looking right here. I see emerald green, pink, gold. I mean, there is so much shift in these. You can actually see the purple coming through there. And you can see the green coming through there. But these are such gorgeous multi-chromes. I wonder if you can see a little bit more. They feel like satin. They're so amazing. And they're so expensive. They really are. But they are always good. The other thing that I have is I have the Dragon Fruit palette, which was a collab they did with Emily Violet Marie. Now, I have some stuff in here that, again, doesn't belong in here because I do mix and match my palettes. But there was different formulas in here. There was satins and a glitter. There was, I don't remember the exact formula of them. I don't have the sheet. But you can see, like, how chunky that is, for example, versus this one, which is a very, very smooth multi-chrome. And then let's get Prickly here, which I'm pretty sure is also one of the satin formulas. Beautiful. Ah, that's so pretty. And here's one of the satin formulas. So again, every single formula that I've tried has been absolutely amazing. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm so sorry. I have been corrected before in a video, and I do struggle with that pronunciation. I'm going to grab these two greens because I'm always excited about them as oh, and this purple. Again, this is what happens when I get to swatching. Look how vibrant. Look how incredibly vibrant. That purple is so pretty. Oh my gosh, that green. Look how gorgeous those are. So yeah, this is another one. They're expensive, but everything that I've tried has been amazing and has not let me down. So I would definitely purchase from them again. Okay, now moving into two mainstream companies. I have eyeshadow all over my black pants. No joke. All right, so the last two that I want to talk about, first one is going to be Anastasia Beverly Hills. I know it's boring, but guys, I only have two palettes, I have to say. But the formula, every single time I use it, just blows me away. I'm like, why are they so good? So I have the Norvina palette and the Carly Bible palette. And both of them, every single time I use. This is actually what inspired this video because the blend is so easy. It's so easy. I barely have to work. So this is the Norvina. And let me just grab. Now look, the shimmers in here are good. They're great shimmers, but it's the mattes for me. The mattes are just so good. They're so powdery to like an extreme, and that is what makes them so blendable. And you get kickback and kick up and all of that stuff, but that is what makes these so incredibly blendable, and I am not complaining. There's just so much opacity. Look at this. I mean, that's amazing. Like I said, the shimmers are great. They're great shimmers. I have no complaints, but for me, this formula, the mattes, is just so good. And again, not to say that the shimmers aren't so good. It's just that the work, I just don't have to blend anything. So here is the Carly Bible, which I just feel like does not get a lot of love. And I love this palette. I love this palette. I have the cool tones up here. I have warmer over there. Let me show you some of the shades that I love the most. There's two in here that are very similar, and people always ask if they're the same. So I will go ahead and show you those side by side. They are very similar. That is the only negative about this palette. They are very, very, very similar. Oh, look. See, that one's a more of a translucent base, and that is beautiful. That is so pretty. Very subtle on that one. So there's this one. Try to blend that in a little bit. And then there is this one, which is the other formula. And as you can see, they are very similar. This one has a lot more glitter in it, and this one is darker. But on the eye, and I think this one's a bit more purple. But on the eye, they read very similar. So that's the only complaint about that. But the mattes in here are next level. I mean, they're just so, so good. Again, it's the same formula as the Norvina. And every time I use it, I'm just completely blown away by how good they are. And I didn't even go in that much. I did not even scoop in that deep this in. It was just a barely touch over. But as you can see, they're fantastic. So yeah, Anastasia Beverly Hills, I regret that I don't have the Soft Glam or the Sultry. I thought about repurchasing when they did like the minis, but I don't know. But I have to say, their formulas are really amazing. I don't really love the new packaging so much. I kind of like these long. I don't know. I just feel like if you're a collector, like that's super fun. But again, love. All right, and this brings me to my last one, which this video is so much longer than I expected. My last formula that I want to talk about is going to be Charlotte Tilbury. Now, I know this is controversial because I know not everybody has this experience. And for some people, it's really hit or miss. But for me, her formula has been 100% consistent all of the time. So I will even show you the very first Charlotte Tilbury that I ever got. I have several sitting here. And that is the Bella Sophia Luxury Palette. And this is my least favorite that I own. But this was the first one that I got. Now, the mattes in here are great, and this shimmer I use and I work with, but it's a little bit more finicky because it deadpans easy. But the mattes, look, the thing about Charlotte Tilbury is, in my opinion, she uses such a shine formula that it's really, really tough to mess up. As long as you get color payoff, it's tough to mess it up. And her shimmers have just gotten better and better over the years. So let me just show you some of the palettes I've got here. So this is the Easy Eye palette for, no, that's not what this is called. What is this called? Isn't this called like Darling or, yeah, Darling, the Darling palette. So I traded this actually from a Lucky Box. So it's just a really easy, sweet little palette to use. So I got that. And then I've got the Rock Chick, which I really love because, again, it's these grungy purples. It's what I'm wearing right now. So hopefully you can see that. What else we got? We've got the Rebel. Oh, I love this one. This has got some really, really pretty greens. Love that one. And as I'm looking at these with you guys, I can see that shine in that formula. It's like the matte is almost not a true matte. Actually, I said I was wearing the Rock Chick. That's a lie. I'm wearing Uptown Girl. That's what I'm wearing with these purple grays. Let me put those side by side so we can compare them in case we're interested. Oh yeah, they're definitely different. A bit similar, but different. This one over here, they definitely have that purple undertone. This has like a true matte, whereas the others don't so much. So as you can see, it's like a true matte. Everything else is almost like a satin. Let me pop one of these others. So there is some difference, but it's very similar, those two. All right, so then I have a 12 pan, which is the Smoky Eyes Are Forever. I love this palette. I love this palette. I talked my sister into getting this palette. I mean, it just works so well, and it's just so easy. Again, this isn't exhaustive. I have other formulas that also work so well, that are so easy. But these are just ones that I wanted to highlight because, in particular, they've been great for me. So here's a couple from that. Everybody's always interested in the greens. It's like an olive, bit more green there. Speaking of green, I have one of the Pop Shots because I had to see what the fuss was about for this one. And this one is the green one. I cannot remember the name of it. And surely Emerald Eyes. I was about to say, surely it's on here. By the way, you just heard my AC kick on. This is beautiful. It's like actually beautiful. And it shifts like crazy. And because it's not removable from that packaging, I have a hard time remembering it's there. But it's gorgeous. And it's another fully opaque, beautiful shimmer. And then I got this year from the Lucky Box Trades, the Beautyverse palette. And like the others, I've loved it. Again, the reviews were really not so great on this. I don't know why. I've really enjoyed this palette. I just think that, and these are a different formula. This is this creamy, now I know that these got a lot of praise, these creamy mattes. I love them. I love everything in here. Don't like how those creamy mattes look on your finger though, right? But it's just so, like, I'm just barely touching anything, barely touching my arm, barely touching the color. It's so easy. The payoff is so there, and the blend is easy. Let me just showcase a couple more of these shimmery shades. A lot of people's purples fell out, and because I'm aware of that, I've been real easy with it because I can absolutely see exactly how that happened. Mine's loose. So packaging is a different situation, but no problems. I mean, I think her formula speaks to me because it's just easy. It's really easy. And someone who's not into makeup, someone who wants very easy eye looks, that's probably the one that I would recommend. I would recommend straight to Charlotte Tilbury, pick up one of her 12 eyeshadow looks or even one of the quads and just knock yourself out. Because if you follow her step-by-step directions as well, it's even easier. She's already planned it out for you. But genuinely, I generally have really great experiences with her formula and they just work perfectly for me. Alright guys, that is it for me. That's all of them. I cannot believe how long this video went. Did not expect that. But please let me know in the comments down below if you have any formulas that work consistently for you. And again, this isn't exhaustive. There are tons. These are just the ones that for me personally, slam dunk every time. So let's have a conversation below and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!